Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Industrial Packaging Podcast with me, your host, Nathan Dube, Digital Marketing Specialist at Industrial Packaging. On today's episode, we have special guest Steve Kirchof, Business Development Manager at Sundance in Florida. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Nathan. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's not waste any time. We'll hop into the first question, which is, can you tell us a bit about your role at Sundance?
Yeah, for sure. My role is Business Development Manager. I work primarily in the packaging, folding carton, label, and flexible packaging markets. My job is to listen and put together a customized solution based on the information at hand. Most of the time, the goal is simple, is just to increase my client sales.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. So can you tell us a little bit about who Sundance is? What do they do? I know that you guys are in the flexible packaging market, but you also do printing and other forms of marketing.
Yeah, Sundance has a pretty interesting history. They actually started as a fine art publisher, and over the years we have evolved from that to a marketing solutions manufacturer, utilizing our core product lines of business consisting of commercial print, digital print, wide format printing. We even do direct mail fulfillment. And then, of course, we do your labels and packaging. The big thing for us that we tend to stand out from our competitors because of the mix of services and products, but we offer everything in-house. Thereby, we're controlling the timeline, the speed to market, and most importantly, the quality.
Awesome. That's very interesting. I didn't know about the fine art aspect of your business. Is that something that you guys still do? What does that look like?
Yeah, that's kind of a separate part of the business from what I do, but it's still fully functional today. Just fine art publishing for a wide range of industries that need it. But it kind of plays in there like our wide format equipment and some of those capabilities.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you probably do prints of fine art pieces and things of that nature.
Yeah. Anything anything you see in hotels, convention centers, that artwork on the wall that looks really nice, we probably printed it.
That's awesome. That's really cool. All right. Well, from there we can move on to the next question. What are your goals in the flexible packaging market?
Our main goal is to introduce flexible packaging to new industries and the benefits it helps to provide both the buyers and the sellers. Right now, we're on a path where we'll continue to invest in necessary equipment to solve our clients' challenges. So we're kind of growing as the industry grows. Ultimately, we want our clients to count on us for handling that transition from traditional packaging to more effective flexible packaging product options.
Yeah, I can understand that. Here at Industrial Packaging, we focus exclusively on flexible packaging materials. We don't do any of the rigid packaging or glass or cardboard or anything like that. So in that respect, we're in a similar position. Moving on from there, continue.
No, I was just going to say, I see it a lot with my clients. It's new to them. They have a lot of questions about flexible packaging and what it means for their business, moving from traditional containers to flexible pouches and how that can help.
Yeah, we get a lot of that as well. And it's interesting that you brought up flexible pouches because that's going to be the main topic for today. So for some of our listeners who may not already know, what are flexible pouches?
Well, there are many types of flexible packaging. Flexible pouches in particular are single-use bags. Commonly, they're made up of metal foil, plastic, and occasionally paper. These pouches, they can have zippers that makes them so you can seal them again. We see a lot of companies shifting to this from the plastic, metal, and glass packaging because of the reduced cost and also significantly reducing the negative impact on the environment.
Yeah, I think the last thing that you mentioned is particularly of interest to our listeners because we're seeing a rise in demand over the years for environmentally friendly materials, which kind of brings us to our next question, which is, I know you guys offer some biodegradable flexible pouches. Can you give us a little background info on the type of product and what prompted you to get into that market?
Yeah, for sure. I think we all have a responsibility to our planet across every industry to reduce our negative impact on the environment. What's nice is when that solution also means increased sales for your business. Consumers are shopping, looking for products with green initiatives to purchase from. Big brands are looking for companies with green initiatives to partner with. So it's a win-win for both the planet and your business. And, Sundance, we were Florida's very first sustainable green printer in 2010, so we're pretty familiar with what it takes to meet that demand.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. When it comes to the biodegradable, flexible packaging, films, pouches, etc., we are seeing a lot of consumers starting to show interest in these things. And I think what's great about the biodegradable pouches in particular is, these items, they biodegrade, they're compostable, and that kind of solves some of the problems that we see with single stream recycling, because with single stream recycling, everybody just throws all their plastics and glass and et cetera into a bin. But if there's water contamination or food contamination, a lot of that stuff is going to end up in a landfill anyway. So what's good about the biodegradable stuff is that it'll break down over time, and they take up less space in a landfill. So if they do happen to end up there, they are going to biodegrade, and they do take up less space than, say, a traditional plastic container.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
Great. Yep. All right. So moving on from there, what are some common applications that flexible pouches are used for? If a client was going to call in today with interest on this, what are some of the common applications that you would suggest using this type of material for?
There's a huge wide range of applications. I see a lot of gels and powders. That's in high demand for both the food industry and the cosmetic industry. Single-use packets. And, when I say gel, it could be like a sauce too, or like a cream or anything along those lines. But I'd say the food industry and the cosmetic industry is where I see a big demand for the flexible pouches.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We see the same. We do see some industrial uses, such as powders and fluids like you talk about. But, up here in New England, if I go to my local supermarket, I see pouches used a lot for coffee, the liquid forms of the pouches for energy drinks, various snack foods, crackers, chips, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think that's a good review of some of the applications that can be used.
And being a graphics department and, utilizing a lot of digital print, those, whether it's that specialty food or the cosmetics that's using it, like we can add some really unique graphics to the flexible pouches to really make them stand out on the shelf.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I know you guys have quite an impressive in-house printing applications, which, we outsource all of our printing for materials like that. So it's pretty cool that you are able to offer those services to your clients in-house. And I imagine they're pretty much customizable, right? If somebody came to you and said, hey, here's my logo, I want an orange pouch, I want it to say, the price, whether it's $5.99 or whatever, all of that can be worked with and done on a custom basis with your clients, I would assume. Is that correct?
Oh, for sure. We can work, if something's seasonal, we can do a seasonal based package. We can do special promotional text or graphics on there. And then, it's completely customizable. You can come to me and tell me you want any size pouch you want, you want a pinch zipper, slide zipper. I'm even working on a project right now that has child lock zippers for flexible pouches. So there's a wide range of different options to customize your packaging.
Yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned child lock safety applications. Up here in Massachusetts, we have the legal cannabis industry, and those are a very popular item for point of purchase. Once a customer gets it, you leave the dispensary and it has the child lock. So no matter how hard you try to rip that open, it prevents someone under a specific age from being able to access the material.
Right, and that's exactly what, without giving too much away, it is in the cannabis industry, and that's exactly what we're using the application for. But it's definitely something that's new, unique, and I think it's going to catch on pretty quick.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like from a packaging perspective, it's a bit of an untapped market at this point because as far as I can see, it seems like a lot of packaging applications for that market rest with rigid packaging. There's a lot of small plastic containers. Generally, you see the child safety aspects of the pouches being used more, but I'm hoping to see dispensaries adopt flexible pouches, not just for safety reasons, but for actually packaging whole flower products, edibles, and things of that nature. I am seeing some of the edible market up here starting to utilize flexible packaging, or flexible pouches, rather.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I see growth in that market every day. And like I had mentioned with our graphic abilities, we can make some really unique packaging, and that whole flexible pouch becomes your billboard on the shelf or in the dispensary. You can really stand out amongst your competition.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that information. So moving on from there, the next question would be how to properly dispose of bio-based materials. I know that it's commonly suggested, to put it right into a compost pile, and then there's also industrial composting. Do you guys have any guidelines, or have you gotten further enough into the market to kind of take a look at what the proper protocols are for disposing of these biomaterials?
I'll be honest with you. We haven't. We obviously recycle them, but that's about as far as we go with it.
Yeah, that's understandable. I noticed that some of the pouches that are coming out that are bioavailable can actually be recycled, and which is interesting because not all biofilms, for example, can be. They have to be composted. So it's cool to see a product coming to market where it can be recycled, or you can expect it to naturally biodegrade over time.
No, absolutely.
All right, so moving on to the next question, what are some other products you guys offer? And this doesn't have to be exclusively to packaging, because I know you guys do other types of marketing and your printing is a big part of your business. So what are some other products that you guys offer in addition to the flexible pouches?
Yeah, it's, being the packaging guy, it's always hard for me not to hone in on just the packaging, but we have such a wide array of marketing solutions we offer. Anything from, like I mentioned earlier, with our wide format division, we can do anything from a vehicle wrap to wallpaper to large signage, direct mail services and fulfillment. That's really big for us. Anything that can originate from print, and we can add additional services to help with your overall marketing goals and help you see an ROI on whatever the project may be. That's why we like to think ourselves more past being just a print company and an overall solutions provider.
Well, that's great. It's good to see a diversification of products for a company like yours. It's certainly very unique, and I wish you guys all the success.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan.
So that brings us to our last question, which is, where can people find Sundance online? Your website, social media, where can people find more information about you guys and your products?
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. We're at www.sundancepackaging.com and also at www.sundanceusa.com. We also have social media tags on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Awesome. I'm sure our listeners will want to check that out. And with a company like yours who produces a lot of graphics, I bet you have a lot of neat photographs on Instagram, which is not we have an Instagram account. We don't use it as much. It's more for showing our company culture. But to have a custom printing side of your business, you must get some good interactions with people there.
No, we have a lot of great content to share, and we even have a program we're doing called #AskSundance, where it's like weekly or bi-weekly. One of our sales representatives will answer general print questions and just kind of give our customers more knowledge about what we do.
Huh, that's awesome. I might have to do a spin on that idea for industrial packaging. Yeah. I think that's really forward thinking. All right, Steve. Well, I really appreciate your time today, and thank you for coming on the show.
No, thanks for having me, Nathan. I really appreciate your time. Thanks.
Well, folks, that does it for another episode of the Industrial Packaging Podcast with me, your host, Nathan Dube, Digital Marketing Specialist at Industrial Packaging. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you will tune in next time where we will be discussing what does your packaging color mean to consumers. But until then, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.